Hello, I am Endlessness and welcome back to Final Fantasy VII Ever Crisis. As we have gotten a new content job for this month, we have also gotten 3 new dungeons. The first one is permanent one, the normal and hard. Those are pretty easy, but also you want to do them because you get crystals and crisis medals, and also a new recipe for material. However, those 2 very hard dungeons, they are always on monthly rotation, so you really do not want to miss out on them because they give you most amount of crisis medals and crystals. Just to go quickly through the dungeon, first the bosses. Ideally you want to use ice because every enemy is weak to ice, but also most enemies you can do with just triangle sigil. However, I recommend also getting the X sigil because Reno, he always traps one of your characters in the pyramid, and if you do not break it in time, then he delivers a really powerful blow, and ideally you want to avoid that. However, you start the dungeon here, you go Reno, it's the first boss you encounter, and then you can choose between Dragon or the Condor. I personally recommend going to the Dragon first and then skipping Condor, but going to the Queen Baljaghon because she's annoying, and those 2 hounds are also very annoying. All of them, they lower your physical defense if you do not kill them fast enough, so if they do that, you take huge hits and they can kill you. But then you go to the Condor and then you finally go to the final boss. But also you could skip this chest, but I do not recommend this because if you skip those yellow chests, you skip items, and it means your score will suffer from that. It will just be lower and you might miss out on the S plus rank. However, let's go. This is my team. Actually, I will change something on Zach because I forgot to give him this ice breach. It will be very useful for this, and my team is alright. The only good thing I have is the OB10 Murasame, which I think a lot of people by now have if they requested it. I requested it for about 3 months till I got it, but I was lucky because it kept randomly dropping in some tickets. However, as you can see, I do not have any elemental sub-weapons. I just really like this boost physical ability potency because it increases all my damage. I might miss out on the Arcanum, however, every damage I put out, it is increased. So Cloud will be using on 3 bosses the Blizzara blow, and it will increase its damage. Also on Sephiroth, I will use his ice costume and just 2 magic ability potency weapons. Also, my elemental weapons are not good, so I just invest into physical and magical ability because it is very versatile, so I do not need to have every element weapon, and this is mostly fine for me. I use Zack because I really like this character. His weapons are not great, as you can see, it's 6 and 5 star, and I also use Cura because this weapon with this materia slot, it makes him a AoE healer, kind of like Aerith or Matt, and I really like that. Those are not the best heals. Aerith or Matt, they can have better heals, but I just love him. He has potential because, as you can see, my heal weapons, they are nowhere as great as they could be. If, for example, they would be OB6, but maybe in the future. But yes, this is how my team looks like. I think that should be alright. Ice Breach because we'll do most damage with ice. So instead of another stat stick or something else, you want to use that. Also, the sigils, X and triangle, X and triangle and triangle. I hope that will be alright. But yeah, my Zack is just a healer and debuffer. Also, you can use any other weapons you have, because this game is all RNG and luck. It's most likely we do not have the same thing. So you just substitute something else for, or different character if you have it. For example, Ice Tifa or Ice Aerith, they are much better than, for example, Cloud. But I use them, I like them, and that's pretty much it. And Cloud, okay. I did a mistake. We should... I'll wait for that. And that should be fine, yeah. I never play on PC, by the way. I have... So I might be struggling here. Because I'm used to the touch screen, it's very fast and simple. But we'll see. And ideally I do want to kill him. Yeah, that's nice. Reno as a character is great, but as a boss he's annoying because of that pyramid and then that electrocute. It deals a lot of damage. It's a good score, and now we'll go to the chest, but also those trance abilities. They are nothing really amazing, other than the ranking dungeon very hard. However, here it is interesting because it lowers your physical defense if you have really amazing weapons like OB10 and you kill those bosses very hard, then obviously go for the plus 15. However, I do not, and I rather not take huge damage, so I can just go for this ice potency, the easiest one. And as I said, I will skip the Condor, I will go to the dragon, but I will just quickly collect this thing before I actually forget it. When we exit the dungeon, one wave of bats will appear. And those are those blood tastes, which are very annoying. It doesn't matter, I'm just building up the limit break. And yes, I could use the Frostblade, but I just love the animation of the Shock Blast. It does good damage anyway, and those are just the ads. And now to the dragon, and ideally I want to have all my limit break ready for that queen that we will go next to. That should be fine. Actually, I'll do this just in case. I'll heal all my characters, and of course Sephiroth had to be hit with that fog. Yes, the red dragon, it can fog one of your magic users, so it's up to you. I'll do this. Maybe? Yeah. Cloud is much faster. Sephiroth is great. I love this character and character unit. However, his Frostblade is very slow, which can be a good thing, but also a bad thing. If you want to kill something very quickly, it's bad, because for example the boss is charging a big attack very fast. Sephiroth will not manage to hit before that. But if you want to debuff an enemy, you can use 2 debuffs before Sephiroth actually attacks, and actually I will go for the magical attack. As I said, I play this dungeon, unless it is a competitive dungeon ranking, I do not mind playing safe. Okay, Sephiroth should be fine. Zag. Why? Cura. And that should be fine, because I want to save some ATB with Sephiroth for his ice attacks on the next boss. And yes, you also can use blizzard cocktails if you have them. But also wait here, because normally I've seen sometimes the limit breaks, they do not register correctly on those blood tastes. Last time I did the first blind playthrough, it did not register on them. I don't know why. Then luckily I only used one limit break, but then I had to use second break because those blood tastes, they were still alive and I didn't receive any damage, so I would wait 1 second or 2 seconds before doing that. And now it's well, the boss is dead. I could have used one limit break and then saved the other one for the next boss or something, but we are going to the Condor and we don't really need much, I think. Also, I like to micromanage my team because I do not like the AI. If I would never play on auto unless you're farming really easy battles, you know, just those 90k battles for synths or weapon mats, really. I want to go here. Never mind, we'll go the long way because it's less annoying. But yeah, if I were to play auto, even on that, just the last thing, Zag didn't cure when I needed him to. And if you play auto, it's like watching your 3 morons just try to sabotage you in the best way possible. So micromanage, it improves your chances of winning a battle, even if it's hard. Really, magic attack. And we'll just use this. See, I can still debuff the enemy even if Sephiroth is already halfway through charging his animation. So that's why I think very slow animation on the Frost Blade. It is annoying, yes, but it has its uses. Because if you have Murasame Cloud, it's such a fast animation that you pretty much minus 20 physical. Nah, I just go magical because my Murasame is great, but all the other weapons are OB6 maybe or less. So I want to put most damage into other units. And also I can use... Actually, whoa. What was on him? Yeah, those two. First I will use Blizzard. I think you can afford that. And also Summon Charge 1. If you are doing good amount of numbers on the bosses, for example 50, 60, then you can use some items. You don't have to be scared of using them. Because for example, those, they will charge fire attack. So I am more debating if I want to risk. Yeah, let's go. We will just try it. It should be fine. But yes, in those last month's dungeons, they were easier. I can feel the increase of the difficulty on those dungeons here. Okay, that's fine. And now I'll just try to use that. I did a bad thing. I should have debuffed his magic attack because I do not know if he will kill Cloud or not. Because ideally you can use your limit breaks and just burn him and then he will die instantly. Yeah, I thought so. that this attack is very powerful. But it's fine. I'm pretty sure we'll still get a S+ from that. But on that boss, you want to lower his magic attack and then maybe you can hope to survive that. But ideally you just hit the summon charge and burn him. And he should die in like 3 seconds, definitely before he even charges his attack. Yeah, that's the same score I got, and last time I used more summon charges to get all of my 2 of my limit breaks, Clouds, Ramu and Shiva, and that's the same thing. That's pretty much the same score, a little bit lower, but it's still a S+. As you can see, yeah, that's 4k less, but still an S+. As far as I remember, if you hit about 800,000, then you get S+. Anything more beyond that, it's just your high score. However, yeah, that would be the dungeon, so thank you very much for watching, and I hope it was helpful. And as I said, you might not have the same team as I do. No one has, because this game is all about RNG and getting lucky. But also you have a lot of characters you can substitute, and as I said, Tifa or the Ice Tifa or Ice Aerith are actually a lot better than Cloud in here, because they are all about ice and you have 5 ice bosses, so this would be even more ideal, but this is the team I used, so you can always choose different weapons, just do whatever works the best for you. So thank you very much for watching, and I hope to see you in the next one.